Sponsored by rxcardclub.com. Get a free prescription drug card and save up to 85% on prescription drugs. rxcardclub.com, 2026-CGF 2026. India's push to reinstate shooting and wrestling in the upcoming Commonwealth Games for Glasgow 2026 has received strong assurances from the Commonwealth Games Federation CGF. These efforts followed the Indian government's robust protest over the proposed exclusion of the two key sports, both of which are vital to the country's medal prospects. During a visit to India last month, senior officials from the Sports Ministry raised concerns about the exclusion of shooting and wrestling with CGF President Chris Jenkins and CEO Katie Sadleir. According to Times of India sources, India advocated for the inclusion of these disciplines in the Glasgow 2026 calendar, stressing their importance to Indian athletes and the country's overall performance in the Commonwealth Games. After intense discussions, the CGF delegates reportedly gave a clear assurance that they would request the Glasgow 2026 organisers to include both shooting and wrestling in the Games. The CGF also committed to considering an increase in the number of sports at the event, potentially expanding the roster from 10 to 13 disciplines. The organisers of the 2026 Commonwealth Games have announced the inclusion of 10 sports, with new events like golf, BMX, and coastal rowing set to make their debut. However, the exclusion of traditional sports like shooting and wrestling came as a surprise, especially for India, given its strong track record in these areas. India's concern over the exclusion is understandable, particularly after a stellar performance in wrestling at the Birmingham 2022 Games, where Indian athletes bagged 12 medals, 6 of which were gold. Wrestling has been a consistent contributor to India's medal tally, and shooting, despite being excluded in 2022, remains one of the country's strongest sporting disciplines. With CGF's assurance in hand, India hopes to see both shooting and wrestling reinstated, ensuring its athletes continue to shine on the Commonwealth stage in Glasgow 2026.